It's been quite a fortnight for Norwich fans, hammered, of course, for 7 by Paul Lambert's Colchester 2 weeks ago, before appointing the Scot as their new manager. Here's Mark Clement.
A fortnight ago, Norwich City fans hit rock bottom. Paul Lambert's Colchester inflicted the worst home defeat in the club's history. He was even involved in containing fan protests that eventually contributed to Norwich manager Brian Gunn's dismissal. Now his challenge as Gunn's replacement is to repair the damage. Paul, can you quite believe the sequence of events?
No, not really. If you told me a fortnight ago this was going to happen, you'd have thought it was a bit surreal, but here we are, and it's an absolute privilege to be here.
I'm curious as to where Delia is in all of this, because she's keeping a bit of a low profile. I mean, as opposed to her, Brian Gunn would be almost one of the family. His mark is all over the stadium.
Well, to her and to the rest of the Norwich City support, and Delia is first and foremost a Norwich City fan. Brian is and always will be a part of the family. Delia, I'm sure, is upset that it's turned out in the way that it has, but the decision that we took to move the club forward was a unanimous board decision.
Can you make a lot of impact over a couple of days that you've had? I mean, you changed a lot, or is it just tinkering really that goes on in that amount of time?
If we win, I'll say yeah, and if we don't, I'll say I'll need time. So, listen, all we can do is try and see the lads. I say I don't know much about the lads. I've only seen them for the last couple of days, and but they've been buoyant, and we'll try and get this place going.
We are blessed with some of the finest supporters in the land, and they'll be here and there, thousands to support the club today, despite the difficulties of the last 2 weeks. They deserve much better fare from their football club than they've been served over the last 4 years.
What on earth have you made of the last few weeks?
What have I made of it? That's a bit of a pig's ear, really, isn't it? Yeah, rubbish.
On the ball, City!
You feel a bit of sympathy for Brian Gunn?
Yeah, I do, yeah. He's a legend at this club, and I think it's a bit mean.
Come on, Norwich!
The weight of expectation is quite large to manage this club. It's going to be very difficult for him, I think.
Now, hopefully they have a new start, because I'm here now. I can visit Norwich for 2-3 times in a season, so I hope that I'm part of the new start today.
A rousing reception for Paul Lambert, who watched Tuesday's defeat at Brentford and clearly saw the need for change. 6 new faces in the starting lineup against Wycombe, and one of them, Simon Lappin, set up the opener for Grant Holt. His 4th of the season, and a great way to welcome the new boss. Corey Smith's selection was another tactical triumph. The 18-year-old now boasts his first senior goal, and he won't score many better. "We want 7" was the chant that rang round Carrow Road after that, and by the 35th minute, the fans were starting to think it might even happen. Jonot Semabor stretched the advantage, his first goal since March last year. So going forwards, it all looked good for Lambert, but what about that leaky defence? Jens Bertal Asku's misjudgment led in John Paul Pittman to remind the home crowd there's still work to be done. And just seconds after the break, which presumably included a few choice words from Peter Taylor, Wycombe had Norwich really worried. More defensive confusion, and Matt Harrold capitalised. The Canaries' response would be key, and this time they didn't crumble. Asku's header reopened the 2-goal advantage, and they'd only played 4 minutes of the second half. Many Norwich fans were unhappy at Brian Gunn's dismissal so early in the season, but on this evidence Lambert will be a popular acquisition. Wycombe, of course, are one of his former clubs. 2 years ago he led Wanderers to a League Cup semi-final. Now he revelled in their downfall. Holt, with a flourish, topped off the success 20 minutes from time. As debuts go, it could hardly have been better for the new manager or the people who appointed him. Chief Executive David McNally stuck his neck out last week, and it might just pay off.
How was that, young man?
Well, what a change, what a delight. We played our second string there and absolutely walked them off the pitch. Make no mistakes, that was Wycombe, a very bad team. But hey, the future is looking yellow.
Could be the start of something good. Come on!
I was working out by my elementary maths, that's 12 goals your teams have scored at Carrow Road in the 2 first games of the season. I think you might struggle to keep the entertainment ratio up, Paul.
Yeah, I think, listen, I took 1-0, because the confidence was a bit fragile. I knew that before the game. Obviously what's happened to them, they expect us to live at this football club is shoes, but if you're here you've got to be able to handle it, and no credit to them. I thought they were great.
How things change, eh? It's amazing. He comes in, he makes 6 changes and they score 5 goals. A dream start for Paul Lambert.
All credit to him. I mean, you know, when you're talking about being at the club for 2 days, you've only seen 1 game, and you can already see weaknesses, you know, that you, to the extent that you change 6 players, then, you know, he can take a fair amount of credit for that victory today.
Were you surprised by his appointment?
No. No, I've sat on a couple of things with Paul and, you know, watched what he's done at Wickham and obviously took over at Colchester. And fortunes have changed around there, so no, not at all.
OK, back to the Championship, starting with Scunthorpe's trip to Sheffield Wednesday, a side proud of its rich history.
The Wednesday, as they were called, until they added the Sheffield bit in 1929, have been in existence since 1867. Their name originates from the day of the week on which they initially played their games. Believe it or not, it was Wednesday rather than their city rivals United, who were originally nicknamed the Blades. They became the Owls in 1899 with the opening of Hillsborough, which is in the Oleton, get it, area of the city. They won the original First Division 4 times, the FA Cup 3 times, and this little beauty, the League Cup, in 1991. In 1964, scandal rocked the club when players Tony Kay, Peter Swan and David Lane were implicated in a match-fixing scandal. They were sent to prison for 4 months and banned from football for life. They hold the record for the fastest ever shot in English football, a David Hurst 114 miles per hour thunderbolt in 1996, and the fastest ever sending off, Kevin Pressman trudging off with his tail between his legs in 2000 after just 13 seconds of one match.
Wednesday have announced plans for a £22 million redevelopment of Hillsborough, but without a win so far this